Sorry. I'm so sorry. I was muted. Yeah, this is what happens when you start doing streams late at night. So, we're live on That's Football. For one night only, it's That's Boxing. We like to do the big events. We've done Fury Wilder. We do the Super Bowl every year. And tonight we're doing a fight, which I think many of you are going to be very excited about tonight. It's Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk. And what a fight. What a night. It's funny, if you follow football, like I'm sure many of you do, then you will get Liverpool, Manchester United every year. Occasionally, you'll get Real Madrid against Manchester United. But in boxing, you don't always get it. There's plenty of examples through the years of the fights that people want, and they don't necessarily get them. Plenty of examples of that. I'm trying to think. Well, Mayweather-Pacquiao never really happened in their prime, did it? And, you know, get in the chat. Can you think of big fights that never happened, that you wish had happened and should have happened? But tonight we do get Fury against Usyk. Will there be rematches? I don't know. But I think it's a big achievement just to get this fight on the road, because we've had Fury or Joshua Fury, exactly. Could that? I still think Fury Joshua can happen. I do. I think if Fury comes through this, I don't know. You know, I know a lot of people who really do like their boxing. I grew up around boxing, not in a boxing ring, obviously, but, you know, super middleweight, ITV, 9 o'clock, Saturday nights. Anybody remember the early 90s and around then? Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn, Watson, all that. One of the best fights I ever saw was a Saturday night ITV, 9 o'clock. Nigel Benn against McClellan, the American. I mean, he basically put him in a... Well, I don't know whether he put him in a wheelchair. I think he did end up with brain damage from it, but it was an amazing fight. Yeah, I mean, that was sort of my era, super middleweight. And obviously you had the likes of Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. Mike Tyson was still about then. So heavyweight boxing was about, but super middleweight was probably what I used to watch more. But, you know, Tyson Fury, whatever about off the ring stuff, an absolutely accomplished fighter for his size, his technique. He's got the lot, and I think some of the most impressive fights I grew up quite a big fan of wrestling, and when he got up from that Wilder punch, I've never seen anything like it. It was like Rocky and The Undertaker combined. It was just, I've never seen anything like that. And as PJ says, one punch and you're down at heavyweight, that's the problem. It is. I mean, I remember James Buster Douglas knocking down Tyson and stunning the world when Tyson was, you know, deemed to be unbeatable. The Sega Mega Drive had just come out and James Buster Douglas got his own bloody game out of it. Never heard of again. Holyfield beat him, and then he beat Tyson after that. It's interesting. We'll have a chat about that. I mean, in my lifetime, ranking heavyweights, it's interesting because I do put Fury there, but I think there's some nostalgia to the time of that. Would you fight Luckhurst on a Misfits card, says Matthew Swatton? I'd rather play him on a football pitch. Yeah, let's just say, I'd say pick your seat on Rose Ed, because that's where you're going to end up. But yeah, but I think Daniel got some super chats coming in. I think that Fury will win by knockout in the third round. What do you think, Mark? Well, I want to get into that. You know, I do want to get into that chat because it's nice. You know, it's nice. Been out for a Chinese tonight. Probably ate too much. Lovely Chinese it is in Dorwich. And I've done a couple of bits on the United stand today, but predominantly I knew this was coming tonight. So I've just been, you know, taking it steady, just doing stuff around the garden and stuff. Been out for a Chinese and a couple of pints, but really looking forward to this. It's nice to have a little bit of break. We've got the Euros coming up on this channel. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. But tonight it's about this. 11 p.m. is the ring walk, so we've got plenty of time to chat about stuff and get involved, of course. I think that the exciting thing for me about this, and I'm sure there'll be house parties and all sorts going on tonight for this fight, because the great thing about big bout boxing, and look, I don't anymore, but I do the Talk Sport show normally on a Saturday night, and I've been doing it for 2 years. And at 9 o'clock I finish, and I hand it over to Gareth A. Davies and Spencer Oliver for Fight Night on Talk Sport at 9 o'clock. So over the last 2 years, you know, I do like my boxing, but I wouldn't say I'm in depth with it. But I've learned a lot over the last couple of years just by having them on and stuff like that. So, you know, it's intriguing. But when it's these big fights, you might not have watched the fight for 2 years, but you'll watch this. It's a big, big, big fight. And it's the biggest fight in the world. It's a unification, isn't it, as well? The winner will actually have all the belts. I think that's correct. I get confused about all that because you can have multiple belts. It's a bit like wrestling again. But I think I'm right in saying that this is a unification fight. And the winner will take all of it. I think I'm also right in saying that undisputed champion, yes, Jopia, yeah. I think I'm also right in saying that there is a rematch bout, but I'm absolutely so excited about this. I mean, I've got the. There's another boxing. There's another fight going on at the moment, but the anticipation that in probably about an hour's time we're going to see Fury and Usyk go together in a boxing ring is just so exciting. And which way do I think it's going to go? I genuinely think it depends which Fury you get. You know, I do agree with Daniel that I think Fury should knock him out. Probably not knock him out, actually. I think that might be a bit disrespectful. But as we all know, one punch and it can be over. But I suppose the way I would put it is, if Usyk fought Wilder, do you think Wilder would knock Usyk down? And I don't think he would, and he's got the biggest punch, hasn't he? So I think Usyk is made of strong stuff. I think it'd be hard to knock him out. But I also think you can't keep Fury down either. So I mean, Brady just says Usyk is the winner by KO. I don't think you can knock Fury down. I don't think there's a man on this planet who can put Fury down. As I said, one of the most amazing things I've seen in boxing was when he got up from that Wilder punch. I mean, I sometimes watch that back. I sometimes watch it back. Like, I watch it on a Tuesday morning with a cup of tea. I'll just watch Fury get knocked down by Wilder. And every time I think he's not going to get up. He shouldn't get up. You shouldn't get knocked down like that and get up. And the way he gets up, and the way the referee doesn't even want to let him get up. He's like, you've got to be, you're out. And he's like, no, I'm not. You know, it's unbelievable. So I think if this goes the distance, that's the best chance Usyk's got. And I think he's more than capable of that. We saw Usyk against Joshua, and he played with him, didn't he? Played him, he did. He technically schooled him, and Joshua's got a big punch. So I think if Usyk's going to win it, it's going to have to do it technically, which means it probably goes the distance. He's more than capable of going the different distance, by the way. I think at this level, the interesting thing for me would be if Usyk was the same height and weight as Fury, is it fair to say that he would win? Because I think that's the thing that I look at this. I look at the size and the power of Fury compared to Usyk, and I think that is that is obviously the advantage. But we mustn't, and I think people have done this throughout Tyson Fury's career. We mustn't diminish what he is as a boxer just because of the dark times he's had out of the ring. There has been some bad times, but you look at that trilogy with Wilder, you look at the Klitschko fight, there has been some joker fights in there. I don't think his last fight, I don't think he prepped it against the UFC guy. And the previous fight before that, the name slips away from me. I can't remember his bloody name now. It's completely gone out of my head. What do they call him? The one who wears the mask. It's just a waste of time. So I think that, and this is a proper fight, and what history tends to show is Derek Chisora, yeah. That's the one I was thinking about. I know he fought White as well, but I was thinking about Chisora. You know, he's had some... I think that's the only reservation I'd have about Fury at the moment, is that he's had a few fights where it's not been at the level it should be. And at some point, in my experience of boxing, at some point, you start to fall off a little bit. And you can't waste your years. And I think Fury has lost years. He lost years a few years ago because obviously he had issues. And I think since the Wilder fight, he's probably lost time where he could have been fighting better fights. You do wonder by the time if Joshua gets him in the ring, whether Fury could be on the downward slope. So those things are interesting. But this is, of our time, a generational fight. This is the big fight of our generation in relation to heavyweight boxing. Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. It's an absolute heavyweight, obviously, but it's an amazing fight. And people say, who do you want to win? Honestly, Fury, but I like Usyk. I really do like him. To the extent that I'll probably confess, I sort of wanted Usyk to beat Joshua when they had that fight, which is unpatriotic because Joshua is obviously British and I do like him. But at that time, I just felt, I don't remember why, but I think it, you know, maybe it was the Ukraine thing. Maybe it was just, I think Usyk's a better boxer and I wanted him to fight Fury. But I sort of, I mean, I wouldn't have been disappointed if Joshua had won, but I wanted Usyk to win because I wanted this fight that we've got tonight. And it's took a long time to get to this point as well. There's been times where I genuinely thought that this fight wasn't going to happen. Who do you want to win, says Robbo. I've just answered that one. Cal says, do you think Tyson looks intimidated by Usyk? Doesn't look like the Fury of old. Yeah, you know, I was looking at some of the footage of Fury in the dressing room before the start of the fight, and I'd agree that he looks a bit vacant, and not in a thick way. I mean, God, you'd never say that. He'd punch me into the next bloody city, let alone postcode. But he doesn't look, and it's hard to read Fury because, you know, having watched the documentary with him as well, he obviously is very up and down. But yeah, I mean, look, what I will say is I've watched Fury for most of his career. He's capable of greatness. He's also capable of but it's almost like a bit like Manchester United. On their day, I still think Man United can beat anybody, but they can also be really bad. In fact, Man United's a bad example. I'd say more Liverpool this season. On their day, Liverpool can beat anybody, but they're also capable of the, you know, the bad results. And I think with Fury, that's always something that's in the back of your head. Thoughts on John Fury, Mark? I don't know the guy at Toro. I thought he came across well in the documentary, but I don't know. And obviously, again, it's this. You know, I don't think it's impressive when you see them, you know, knocking heads on people. But who has more to lose tonight? Who needs a win more? Says Kian. Well, I was just thinking about this. Yeah, what I was going to talk about Liverpool is Liverpool this season could have won the Europa League, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. They've ended up with the Carabao Cup. Because as much as they're capable of beating anybody, they go and have a Crystal Palace and an Everton and a Man United. And I think Fury's a bit like that. I think on his day, he's very, very, very good, but he is capable of having a bad day. I mean, age-wise, Fury's actually younger. I had to check that myself. Like, Tyson Fury is 35 and Usyk is 37. I mean, Anthony Joshua is only a year younger than Fury. And I still live in this world where I think Fury's older than all of them and Joshua's about 8 years younger. But they're all very, very close in age. I think Fury's going to win, but I think Usyk looks very, very focused. And I I've told this story before. Right? You know, I'm sure some of you used to have this when you were at school. I hope it doesn't happen anymore. Although it probably is worse. People probably have weapons now, don't they? Which is even scarier. But when I went to school all those years ago, we didn't go on a horse and cart. We went on a bus. And most fights used to be organised. It's really weird. You know, if you got into a fight at school, you'd think, you know, it'd just kick off over a box of, you know, matches or something like that, or stickers. But it would actually be. It was weird. It was almost like we were the, you know, practicing promoters, Frank Warren's in the making, because it'd be like, I'm having a fight with you. I want to have a fight with you. Right. Behind the bike sheds, third break. And it'd go around the school and everybody would know about it. And I didn't have many fights because it just wasn't really me. But I did get into this situation when I was about 15 where this lad who, look, I'm not even gonna lie, he was in the thick class. There's nothing wrong with that. And it used to get called the thick class, which is, look, it was the 1990s. Things were a lot worse than that. If you're offended by thick class in the 1990s, just go back there and see what it was like in relation to sexism, homophobia and racism. So anyway, this lad basically barged into me in the dinner queue in front of everybody. And I couldn't take it. So before I knew it, well, I didn't even have to do anything. My best mate was like, right, you and him are having a fight, third break. And everyone was like, fight. So before I know it, I'm in this fight. And I'm like, I said to my mate, thanks for that. And he was like, don't worry about it, you'll batter him. And I said, well, I think I probably will. Because let's just say it wasn't his first time in the dinner queue that day. But I said, he plays rugby. He's in the scrum. He's the sort of guy you could whack him round the head with a bloody baseball bat and he'd just smile at you. And lo and behold, that's what happened. We went and had this fight. I absolutely battered him. But he just wouldn't stay down. Like, normally, in these fights, someone gets punched on the nose, they go down and they stay down, and everyone goes, hey. He just wouldn't stay down. I never got punched once. Never hit me once. I must have hit him about 15 times. I just kept getting up. And I think that the reason for that story is not just for me to tell you some crap story. There are people in life who don't stay down. And it can be that lad, Paul Elliott's his name was, from Two Till Comp, or it can be Tyson Fury. And there are some people who just won't stay down. And there are people that will stay down. There are people that can be knocked down. There will be people that, you know, will just get dazed and stuff. And I don't think either of these two men are the sort of people that can stay down. And that's the intriguing thing about this fight. It's the dangerous thing about this fight as well. But this boxer who's fighting at the moment sat down. He looks like the guy out of Beauty and the Beast. He's also in Lord of the Rings. You know, The Hobbit. You know who I mean. I can't remember his name. I think he's Welsh. It isn't him, but it does look like him. But yeah, I just think the exciting thing about this fight is that neither of these people, like Anthony Joshua, if it was Joshua, funnily enough, there he is sat with Ronaldo. If it was Anthony Joshua, right, Anthony Joshua is the sort of guy who can get knocked down. Wilder is the sort of guy who can get knocked down. Frock was the sort of guy who can get knocked down. Really good fighters. And look, let's be honest with you. It's unfair to name names. 99% of boxers can get knocked down. And as a fan of those people, like when I've watched Joshua in the past, I am thinking if he gets caught, he'll go down. It's normal. It really is normal. But with these two fighters, I can't see them knocked out. I can't see them down. I really can't. And that makes it even more intriguing because obviously Usyk's been through a war. But whether he had been or he hadn't, he's just got that in him, hasn't he? Fury has probably been hit. I mean, has anybody ever got up from a punch like that? But he's capable of getting up. It's like they'll both just get up. And that in itself makes for a very, very interesting fight. The dynamic that has me most interested, and I don't know what your thoughts are, because boxing can be very pantomime, but underlying is respect. And we see a lot of fights where, you know, they're saying stuff about each other's mums, they're full of the mums jokes, and it comes across as really hateful, and I'm going to put you in the grave and everything like that. And then when the fight's over, there's total respect and love and hugs and stuff like that. And you almost think, well, you know, is it their coping mechanism because they've got to go to war? Is it just a bit of pantomime for the public? Fury's very, very good at it, but I don't actually know. And I've said this before, like Wilder and Fury didn't like each other, did they? It was very obvious that Wilder didn't like Fury. I can't remember about what Fury thought of Wilder, but with these two, I don't know. Get in the comments. I don't know whether they're... I don't get the feeling Usyk really hates Fury, but I don't know whether Fury hates Usyk or whether there is loads of respect there. I don't know. Mark, I think Fury versus Usyk will be interesting, says Enrique. I think Fury's going to be at his best since his embarrassment against Ngannou. I still think it'll be close. Nick P says, I was in the... how was your pint, Goldbridge? Hope you enjoyed it, says Michael. I did. I had 2. It's been a very hot day here in the UK. I've been working on the garden. Well, I say the garden. Yeah, it was more the drive. And the first pint went down very, very well. So I had another and another. Nick P says, I was in the thick class, Mark. Actually, it was called special needs. I spent 2 years making flapjacks and counting beans. I'm not laughing. But what I'm laughing at is that there'll be people in the chat saying you can't say that. You can't say that. But you can say that because it happened. You can say that because that's the world that probably me, Nick P, and many other people grew up in. Like, that's what it used to get called. In maths, we had top set, 3 middle sets, and the bottom set. And that's what the teachers called it. That's not what everybody else called it. I remember in school that one kid wanted to fight and no one else humoured him. He ended up sucker punching the art teacher, immediately expelled, says Dance1211. Worst thing that ever happened to at school for me was that we had this... I mean, it's racism, actually, when you think about it. Well, it was, but it used to go on all the time, didn't it? Sexism, homophobia, like I said. Well, this was Justice Jam on Toast, right? There was this lad who came... I think he was Cantonese. He was Cantonese, definitely. And he was called Jack, which is... I don't know whether that was his real name, but he'd actually come from Western-super-Mare. Now, at that time, the Rugby World Cup was on, and somebody actually thought he was Western Samoan because they didn't know Western-super-Mare was in the UK. As I said, thick class. Anyway, his name was Jack. He came to Nottingham from Western-super-Mare, but he was originally Cantonese. And Cantonese is a language. Okay, so... Well, look, even I was in that class. Whereabouts would it wasn't called Jackie Chan. Cantonese is not a place then. It's just a language. Thick bridge. Right, I feel humiliated now. Anyway, he was from China then. No, Hong Kong. Hong Kong, that's where he was from, actually. Hong Kong was the place that was... that makes total sense now. Look, you're sending me back a long time, and we're meant to be getting ready for boxing. It's a good job it's only 10:25. Ring walks at 11 o'clock. We're having a geography class here. He was from Hong Kong. He was definitely from Hong Kong because he spoke very good English, and I remember him talking about being educated in English back in Hong Kong. So he was from Hong Kong originally, because obviously Hong Kong used to be, what do they call it? British. And he basically, oh God, I've got to just tell this bloody story. I want to get back about the boxing. So he was from Hong Kong originally. He moved over with his family to Western-super-Mare, which is near Bristol. And then he came to Nottingham and came to our school. And we were in an art class, and there was these 2 girls who were, looking back on it, vile. And I don't just mean looks. They were horrible, right? They were bullies, and girls can be bullies, right? So anyway, we're in this art class, and, you know, to be honest with you, somebody probably should have said something. His mate should have, he was sat next to his mate at the time. But the funny thing about the art class was you normally sat in like rows, but it went round in like a U with the teacher in the middle of the U. And we were like on one side and these girls were on the other. Anyway, I was probably too busy designing my football kits because it was art and that's all I ever used to do. And these girls were always going on at him. And like proper, like I can't even do it here. I can't even do it here. They were doing they were doing racial slurs. They were like doing, they didn't do the eyes or anything like that, but they were doing accents. And but I only know this third hand because I don't remember it. Like I don't think anybody remembers it because we weren't close enough. Like they were sat quite close. But what I do remember is he suddenly got up. His chair went flying back, and I came up from my Man United third kit and went, oh, what's going on here? He walked to the front. He got a clay scalpel carving knife and was on his way to these girls before the art teacher, who was, well, looked like she could play rugby, grabbed him in a lock and took him to the ground. And while he was on the ground, he was going, I'll fuck you up. I'm going to fuck you up. And I just remember I was just like, I don't know what's going on here. I just don't know what's going on here. But that story took so long to tell, I can't even remember what the point of it was. But it's what I was on the other side of the class, so it wasn't scary. But if that art teacher hadn't have took Jack down, I don't know what he was going to do. They were crying, the two girls, and I just remember thinking, well, that'll teach you to be racist. I suppose looking back, it was very, very scary. But why did I start telling that story? There would have been a point to it. There would have been a point to it, and I can't remember what it was. We were talking about whether Fury likes Usyk, weren't we? And then for some reason, I went on a tangent about that. I don't know. Losing control, I don't know. Yeah, I've had more than 2 pints. It was because of my super chat. Let me go back to it. Oh, yeah, the art teacher comment. That's what it was all about. Perfect. Yeah, dance 121. Mark, how come Mario never drowns on water levels, says Michael Wright. I'm more of a Sonic the Hedgehog man. Fury's mind games have worked, says the Smith 1986. They might have worked. No, sorry. The Smith 1986 says Fury's mind games haven't worked on Usyk. They might have worked on AJ. People are aware of his antics. Fury shoulder be looking to box at range. Should be looking to box at range. Thank you. Do you think VAR would work in boxing, says Corbs? No UK radio coverage for one of the biggest heavyweight fights in 25 years. Can see it be a draw mark. Is that true, Paul? It's not radio coverage. Wow. Well, obviously it's in Saudi Arabia. I mean, I don't know what people think about that. You know, they're talking about taking the World Snooker Championships to Saudi Arabia as well. Look, my thoughts on this is if you are somebody competing in these sports, cash back. You know, you're going to make lots of money, but that's just the way it is. Mark, I think this fight is going to be a chess match. I think Fury is going to be fired up and raring to go since his Ngannou fight, which he knows he lost, says Enrique. That could be Fury's downfall. I don't think it's very easy in heavyweight boxing to get a fight won quickly. We had a kid with really terrible eczema, says Nick P. His name was John Fitzpatrick, and we used to sing him the Pet Shop Boys song, It's a Sin, but changed the words to Fit's a Sin. Life was cruel back then. I remember we used to do I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, just like when Ruben shakes his hair, because he had dandruff. Look, it's the school of hard knocks for a reason. I don't think it does you any harm. Although, yeah, well, it can do, can't it? Let's be honest. Was he from Cantonar? Fact, we never got Elliot Goldbridge rematch is mad, says Kian. I think my brother knocked him out down the local pub a few years ago, actually. He came up to my brother and started having a go, and he knocked him out. My brother used to do boxing. Allegri on the market, Mark says, no, good, keep him on there. I'll get him a stall if he wants. Yeah, so let's we are about half an hour away from ring walks. The time is flying by. I'm really excited. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. This is That's Boxing tonight. Normally it's That's Football. And just remember, for the Euros, we've got every single game as a watch along. We can't wait for that. We're less than a month away from the start of the Euros. For the first time in my life, I'm going to watch England win a major tournament, and Southgate can't do anything about it because we've got Foden, Saka, Kane, Bellingham, Rice. We've got so many good players. We're going to win it. We're going to win it all, and we can watch it all together. Lovely stuff. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I'm not doing the Copa America. No, I'm not going to pretend I do that. Do you find camels attractive, says Paul G? Well, let's keep it on the boxing. There was a few questions that I'd written down from earlier when I was doing a live chat, and somebody said to me, and I wrote it down because I saw it in the chat, and I didn't get. We were talking on the United stand, so it didn't really work. And they were saying, who are your top 3 heavyweights of your lifetime? Heavyweight boxers, not anybody else. So I'd like to get some of your comments on this. Jim says, Mark, who would you rather fight, Deitch or Luckhurst? Well, mate, anything Everton pisses me right off now. I've spoke glowingly. I haven't spoke growingly. They don't turn me on. I've spoke glowingly about Everton all my life. I love Goodison Park. It's my favourite away ground, and I've spoke glowingly about Everton all my life. There was a charity match tonight at Goodison Park that I was invited to play in, and this week I got banned. Fair play to the charity. They tried their best to get it appealed, but Everton dug their feet in. Wouldn't say what the reason was, but said I'm blacklisted by the club. This is a club that I've spoke glowingly about, and I love that ground. And I will never get to play at it now because it's getting knocked down. Bitter bastards. I mean, I watched a little bit of it earlier, but I had to switch it off because some of them were absolute shit. But that wasn't why I switched it off. I had to switch it off because I was just like, you know, gutted. Absolutely gutted. So Deitch can do one, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, somebody said to me, imagine if you're blacklisted because you do the Deitch impression. Whoa, fucking grow up. Grow the fuck up. At the end of the day, if somebody wants to do an impression of you, it's a sign of affection. That's what I think. If every time I'm in the shower and I think about an impression, I think, well, they must like me. I don't know what way, but you know, but look, pass me a bag of gravel. Maybe that's upset him. I don't know. But look, if it bothers you, tell me and I'll stop doing it. I don't do the Harry Kane one anymore because people said it was a bit offensive to the way that he speaks. So, yeah. I have said Pickford shit, but if that's a reason for Everton Football Club to bloody blacklist me because of a goalkeeper, come on. All I wanted to know, look, whatever. I'm not bitter about it, but I am. Who would you rather fight, Deitch or Luckhurst? Well, I'm not a violent man, Jims. Although, can you remember when I fell out with that DT years ago? And did he tweet it out or something? He said, me and you in a cage, 1-on-1, 5-a-side game, locked cage. To this day, I don't understand what was going to go on because I was just going to beat you at football. You can lock us in there and do a cage as well. But I got the feeling there was going to be like chainsaws and stuff in there as well. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, look. No. There's things I've been asked to do that I will do, but I'm not really interested in the boxing thing. I love boxing. I absolutely love boxing, but I've got so much respect for people who do it properly. It's a professional sport. It's not a place to go in a ring and have it out with somebody that you've got a problem with. That's where you cross the line with professional sport for me. You know, you don't fall out with somebody and say let's get in the boxing ring. That disrespects boxing. We used to do when I used to play football. We used to do it it was horrible, but we used to do it every pre-season. We'd train on a Tuesday and on a Saturday in pre-season if we didn't have a game, and then on the Thursday we would train. But for about 6 weeks before the season, we'd go into the local boxing gym, and oh my god, I'm not joking. 50% of us would be outside throwing up afterwards. It's so hard, such a hard sport, because you think about when you're in that boxing ring, you're throwing punches with everything you've got. For how long? It's hard work. Harry Bain was class though, says Lee. Yeah, he was. Conor Moore does a Harry Kane impression and he's still pretty popular. Fill your boots, says Robbo96. I bet he's not blacklisted by that. The Deitch impression is the best of the lot, says Shatter. It really does hurt my throat though. Please can United let Brighton win tomorrow, Mark? I'm already sad De Zerbi's leaving. I have trust in Tony Bloom, but we need to give him a good send-off, says Kind Killer. I get the feeling that De Zerbi may well have just been, I mean, I don't really get what's going on with De Zerbi. That's the thing, because they have a release clause for him, so it doesn't sound like he's got a club yet either. So I wonder if he's going to take a sabbatical or something. Right, Jahek has come up with his top 3 heavyweights of his lifetime. Foreman, Lennox Lewis, Iron Mike. Right, my top 3 heavyweights in my lifetime are actually going to probably piss people off, but I didn't see enough of Tyson really. But I think he probably is the best, but I didn't really see enough of him. So for me, I would put Holyfield ahead of ahead of Tyson, and then I put Lewis at number 1. Lennox Lewis, not Lewis Hamilton. Lennox Lewis. I think he was fantastic. I mean, obviously Lewis and Holyfield beat Tyson, but did they beat the best Tyson? Probably not. But I think Lennox Lewis was probably the best I saw. But as I said, super middleweight was probably more exciting when I was growing up than heavyweight boxing. Hi Mark, hope you're well. Unlucky Solihull losing last week. Who do you think will win this fight? I think Fury wins, but I'm not confident. Robin Hood says Mike Tyson number 1, Lennox Lewis number 2, Tyson Fury who moves to the 2 spot if he wins tonight. Well, this is a career defining fight for Tyson Fury. These are the fights that you fight and then you look back on when your career is over. These are big fights, definitely. Manchester United says Holyfield is the best cruiserweight ever, but not as good as Lewis, etc. in heavy. Buster Douglas KO'd Lewis, says David. No, I thought that was Tyson. Lewis is the greatest in his generation, says Garth. But Gareth says Lennox Lewis was a bum. I thought, well, I disagree, but there you go. Clubber Lang was very good. And don't forget Drago, Rob Carter says as well. Ali, Fraser and Tyson says Nizam. Yeah, but obviously I'm talking about my lifetime, yeah. I can't put Muhammad Ali in the top 3. This is like, look, I specifically said the top 3 heavyweights of my lifetime. Now, you're either taking the piss trying to make me older than I am, or you're doing what people do with football when I leave out people like Bobby Charlton and George Best. I didn't see them play. They weren't in my life generation, so I can only go on what I see. But I do... Ali says, what about the Klitschko brothers? They were very good. They were very good. And I think that's why I'd like to move on to Tyson Fury, because obviously Fury beat Klitschko. You can only beat what's in... And also, I think this is very true. I think heavyweight boxing did go through a period where it wasn't as strong as maybe as it could have been. And I think right here, right now, it's not been too bad that in recent years. The problem is getting the fights on. It's so political these days that it pisses me off. Boxing pisses me off in the sense that it's hard to get a fight on because their careers aren't that long and they're not in their prime that long. And you can't fight that many fights a year. So if you've got all the political bullshit as well, it's very easy to miss the fight that the public wants. And I'm a firm believer that you should always deliver what the public wants. You know, I think back to the YouTube game, which has changed now, but I think there were times when, you know, I was very willing to do content with other people and they didn't want to do it. And I was like, well, that's fine, but it really is what, you know, and we're only talking about YouTube football here, but I wanted to do it and they wouldn't do it. And they wouldn't do it because they were, well, I think they were scared, but whatever. But the point is, it would have been really good content and a lot of people would have watched it. Now, that's fine. But in boxing, I think it's unforgivable when these fights don't happen because of politics and money and stuff like that. So again, this is a massive point as to why tonight is such a big fight, because we're getting the fight. We're getting it. Thanks someone who's tuning in, by the way. We've got nearly 13,000 watching. Make sure you subscribe and smash a like on the video. Calzaghe was a brilliant fighter, Greg. Absolutely. Joe Calzaghe was a brilliant fighter, yeah. Again, he was... well, he wasn't heavyweight, was he? Was he super middleweight? Top 3 fighters outside heavyweight: Mayweather for me, says Jims. Bolognese or carbonara, says Guitar Boy. It's not boxing, but I'll go with bolognese. DJ Captain Mark says, Mark, that video of you standing in the snow staring at the ring cam, where is the original video? I don't actually know. If you get really lucky while I'm looking at the next super chat, I might be able to tweet it, but I don't know. Do you watch the NBA and what's your favourite team? Says Man United 888. I don't watch the boxing. Who wins, Clubber Lang or Ivan Drago? Says Chris Cooper. I think Ivan Drago. He nearly killed Rocky. Start, bench, sell. Fury, Mike Tyson or Ali? Well, I'd start Muhammad Ali because I'd love to see him in his prime, and I never did that. Tyson against Mike Tyson against Tyson Fury. Now, everyone will say Tyson, but there's a massive size difference there. Yeah, I think Mike Tyson wins that. I mean, he was incredible, absolutely incredible. But yeah, I'm just having a quick look if I can find this for you. I don't know where it is. Oh, I've got it. Right, especially for you, mate. It's going to absolutely confuse everybody on Twitter, but that's the original file. I've just tweeted it. That's caught in HD, that one. People on Twitter are going to be like, what the fuck? Somebody just did a super chat, which is obviously always appreciated, and just asked me if I had... I know what you mean. I've seen it so many times as a GIF, and the quality's shit, but that's high quality for you. There you go. Little gift from me to there. You think fight would have been bigger in the UK, says a Toro. I'm not going to dwell on this for too long, but if this was in Madison Square Gardens or Wembley, it's a bigger fight. It's here for money, and I know people in boxing, and I've asked this question, and they're very enthusiastic about it when it's in Saudi Arabia, because there's so much money there. And nobody will say anything bad about these fights being in Saudi Arabia because there's so much money there. But I do think that it's... Eduardo, I'm not talking about stuff like that tonight, so thank you. It's... Yeah, look. Honestly, these people are putting their lives on the line sometimes. Are you going to say, I'll do it in London for this price, and then Saudi Arabia says we'll double it? They've got the right to go and earn their money. You know, they have. Whether we like it or not, they've got the rights. They're the people putting themselves in the ring. They've got the right to go and earn their money. And the money is in Saudi at the moment, isn't it? It's not like football. This is boxing. This is the biggest fight of both of these fighters' career. And if Saudi Arabia is offering them, and I don't know what they're offering them, 3 or 4 times or double what they'd get in America or UK, why should they go, well, it'd be a better atmosphere in the UK or America? They've got every right to go and earn massive money. Yeah. Mark, I don't know. I'm not doing anything about DJ Khaled's Saif. You know, you're just trying to make me look thick now. Hope you're well, says Jim. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Do you think Ngannou will have a career in boxing, says Orex? I don't, you know what I mean? It's a very good point, because obviously Joshua's beaten him and beat him quite well. And some people coming into this Fury-Usyk fight are, you know, saying that Fury's camp wasn't that good. Obviously, we've had it put back a bit because he got the cut in the camp as well. Some people are saying that Fury's camp's not been great and Usyk's camp's been brilliant. Training camp I'm talking about. They've not been camping. But I think Joshua took the Ngannou fight seriously. I don't think Fury took the Ngannou fight seriously. It was an exhibition. And I don't think he... Look, honestly, if I'm doing FIFA career mode and I've got a Champions League final against Real Madrid, and the week before I've got an FA Cup final and Middlesbrough have somehow got there, I'm going to respect Middlesbrough because I want to win the FA Cup. But in my head, it's Middlesbrough. But when I play Real Madrid in the Champions League, it's fucking Real Madrid in the Champions League. You know, you can respect and prepare, but the mind is the mind. Like, and I just think Fury against Ngannou, he'll say he took it seriously and he prepared properly, but I don't think he did. I don't think he did, and I think that's what caught him out a little bit. Yeah. You don't need to get up for this one. You really don't. Mullock on Eric Ten Hag, says Cal. Oh, God. Why is he dropping them on a Saturday night when everyone wants to watch the bloody boxing for a start? Let's have a quick look. Oh, both Bayern Munich and Ajax believe Eric Ten Hag will depart Manchester United at the end of the season, even if United win the FA Cup. What does that... Does that mean he's going to go to Bayern Munich or Ajax then? I don't know. It's one for the morning, isn't it? Oh, okay. More to it. Eric Ten Hag is involved in a tug of war between two clubs, and both believe he will be sacked by Manchester United. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. We're here for a boxing fight. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that, really. I don't know. We're about... Oh, God. Oh, my God. Alert. We're only 13 minutes away. As a Middle Eastern, I love that it's in Saudi. Better timings for us, and it grows the fan base for the sports internationally, says Lord. I mean, it's not a massive problem for us. I mean, I remember... Here's one for you. Didn't Frank Bruno fight Tyson at Wembley in the early hours of the morning? Am I completely and utterly making that up? But I do think that 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday isn't a massive problem for us in the UK, because obviously, I'll be honest with you, if this was at Wembley, it would probably be at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock anyway. So it's not a bad time for us as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the fights I used to stay up to watch the Royal Rumble at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, and apparently that's not real. Yeah, Bruno, it's funny how Frank Bruno's not been mentioned at all when we've been talking about heavyweights, because he was a heavyweight and we all loved Bruno, and he was like a loyal he was like a dog, actually. You know, dogs are very loyal, and he was very like a bit like a bulldog, a British bulldog, I suppose, in the sense that he won some really good fights. But look, he was lacking when he came up against. I think Lewis beat him as well, didn't he? As well, Lennox Lewis, I think, beat him as well. Look, up against the very top fighters, he was found out. But you know, we all loved Bruno, and he had a good career. What was the other one? The other boxer that won the Audley Harrison. He was Henry Cooper. That's who I was thinking about. Henry Cooper, dead a long time now, but 60s. Fought Muhammad Ali. Was nowhere near the level of Muhammad Ali, and oh god, I'm trying. I wasn't alive. I think he punched Ali, and the bell the bell for the end of the round saved him. So we've had a few British fighters like that over the years who. Scream Boy says, nothing to do with impressions, Mark. It was your comment at 24-27 during Man City versus Everton Watchalong. Well, what did I say, Scream Boy, please? And how do you know that? Oh, now I'm intrigued. You need to tell me what it is. Who is your favourite boxer of all time? Mine's Paddy Murphy. What, the one who... Yeah, I think I know who you mean. My favourite boxer of all time... I'm going to really upset people here. I really did used to like Eubank. I did. I don't know why. I mean, I was massively... you know, I was into wrestling and stuff, and I just like that. But the problem with Eubank was that after he had the fight with Michael Watson and Michael Watson got brain damage from it, Eubank never really fought properly again. He used to fight tactically and win on points. It was never the same again. Who's the GOAT, Ronaldo or Messi? We're not doing that, Mason. And Scream Boy, I'm really interested. I'm going to have to write this down now. I can find it out myself, but I don't know. I just can't think. Look, if I've said something out of turn, I've said something out of turn, but I can't think that I've done it. Jared McCarthy says, no problem with the fights being in Saudi if that's where the money is, but if Fury versus Joshua ever happens, it has to be in the UK, says Jared. You'd hope so. Rank these: Ricky Hatton, Lennox Lewis, and Eubank. Mason. Sorry, I'm just getting some messages about stuff. Right. When are you reacting to your Premier League predictions, as Mason? Probably do it on Monday. And as a Middle East... I will actually do that. I need to get that done. Happy birthday to Logan. It's his 16th, says Jack. And Jack D says, hi, Mark. Hope you're okay. Hope Fury wins. I want to see Joshua versus Fury. And Arch says, hi, Mark. If you got $5 for beating Tyson every age, what age would you go for? Well, I don't know what that means. If I got $5 for beating Tyson every age, what age would you go for? I think that's gone over my head. And Parker says, if I get into a fight in the UK, you've got my back. And if you... Oh, Ben Thornton says, if you was fighting, what would your intro song be? Well, I was in the kitchen a couple of days ago getting emotional because the Thunderdome came on by... Tina Turner. And if you know, you know, TUSFC career mode, that would be it, Thunderdome. Favourite Take That song? Have a little patience, says Owen. What are we doing a favourite Take That song for on Fight Night? We're getting very close to 11 o'clock. I don't think they're going to be walking out the ring at 11 on the dot because this fight before them is not quite there yet. So I think it might be a little bit after 11. Mark, Jemba, Anthony, Martial in order. Martial number 1, Anthony number 2, Jemba number 3. Easy. Easy. James Bond says, just love oil. Put oil in the chat if you love petrol and diesel cars, says James Bond. Prince Nazim was a good fighter and entertaining. Yeah, he was. He was. I used to like Prince Nazim. Unknown person. And Andrew says, you born in Nottingham. Do you remember Dave Boy Green? No. Robbo96 says, I think you said Z Cars was shit. I might just imagine that, though. I didn't say that. I like Z Cars. It's one of... I think... I in fact, again, stop upsetting me about Everton because I like that music at the start. I like that when Everton come out. I do quite like that. Hi, Mark. What's a boxing fight you'd love to see that's never happened with past or present fighters, says Mason. I really wanted to see Manny Pacquiao against Mayweather when it was meant to happen in their prime. I believe it did happen, but it wasn't there. Will you be in the next Girth and Turf tournament, says Film Fanatics? I don't really understand what they're up to at the moment. And I haven't played pro clubs for ages, so I think it would be very unfair. Answer it, man. I'm intrigued, says Owen United. What was the question? Oh, take that. It's not have a little patience. Back for good. Back for good. It's, yeah, definitely. I got a draw all over this, says Multi Gamer. Wow. We're in London, aren't we? We're not. We're in Saudi, aren't we? But we're in boxing, aren't we? That's boxing. We must also take into account that there could well be a what do you call it? A draw. And draws in boxing are not as unlikely as they may well be as you think, because judging can be dodgy. So what are the odds on the fight? I will get you them now because I'm sure there's somewhere I can find it. Very excited about this, as I'm sure many of you are. Let's have a look at... No, I've just got lists of where to watch it here. Here we go. Big D on TikTok says, who have you got to win, Mark? I'm going to go with Fury, but I think it's going to be tough. Will the fight go the distance? I'm trying to... That's not very good. Let's just go with this one. I will get you the odds now. Well, Tyson Fury to win by KO in round 12, 500 to 1. Fury is 8 to 11 to win, and Usyk is 11 to 8 to win. Fury is 3 to 1 to win by KO or TKO, and 2 to 1 to win by decision. Whereas Usyk is 4 to 1 to win by KO or TKO, and 9 to 4 to win by decision. The draw is 11 to 1. So yeah, Fury is the marginal favourite in this, as things stand. King Billy says, has the ring walk started yet? No, I think it'll be a little bit later than 11 o'clock because the last fight has only just finished. Probably went on a little bit longer. How long does the fight last, says Jack? Somebody in the chat will be able to tell us that. I'm never very good at that. I would say you're talking around half an hour to 45 minutes. Yeah. Depending on stoppages. If they draw, does it go to penalties, says Tom? Golden goal, but they call it golden punch. On current form, Mark and chat, Fury or Joshua, says Stephen. Well, this is the big thing, isn't it? We don't know current form. On career form, Fury. On recent form, you never know. Have you ever boxed, Mark, says Constantine? I did do it a few times, but it's bloody hard work. Kieran says, I'm an Everton fan, always enjoyed your thoughts on football. Also gutted you aren't playing at Goodison. Personally can't think what you said wrong. Well, apparently. 15k people tuning in to watch you, not football, says Parker. Thank you very much. And hi, Mark. Got a draw all over this. Thanks very much. So, yes, we've been live chatting for an hour, so I feel I just need to go back to what we were talking about at the start. This is a generational fight. You might be somebody who watches boxing every week. You might be somebody that just watches the big fights. But this is a generational fight. And if you are just tuning in because it's a big fight, the great thing about boxing is it's very easy to watch. It's very easy on the eye. You know, it's two men. It can be women, but this is two men fighting. Never men against women. We don't want to see anything like that. Some people want to see women play men's football, fine. I don't ever want to see a boxing match between a man and a woman. I don't think anybody wants to see that. But no matter how good the woman is. But this is generational. It is Fury against Usyk. Two fantastic boxers. And to be honest, two boxers I like. So this can happen. Ty says, I can't wait for this. I'm so excited about it. To see these two people in the ring, it's generational. It's epic, and it might not be once in a lifetime. There might be a rematch, but it might be the only time we see it. And boxing can be a pain in the arse. You don't always get these fights. You can get them at the wrong time. You might not get them at all. But we are getting Usyk and Fury pretty much in their prime, 37 and 35, going together to be the undisputed, i.e. all the belts are on the line. So it doesn't get much bigger than this. And I don't know whether the world's changed, actually. This is a great point. I talk about it with football. I remember when Man United used to play Liverpool probably 15 years ago, and the week before would be massive. Massive build up to it. You couldn't move for it. The same with this, Fury versus Usyk. You know, I just think the world's different now. You know, you've got TikTok, you've got YouTube, you've got Twitter, you've got on demand. But we don't have much. What I'm trying to say is we don't all congregate around the telly at 7:30 to watch EastEnders anymore. You know, there's not really many big events where everybody watches something together. And I think because of that, we're not very good at actually building up hype, because this should be hyped to shit. It's absolutely massive. I know people are very, very good at overhyping the pudding. But sometimes I think overhyping the wrong thing, you lose track of what really should be overhyped. This is a generational fight. This fight has the potential to be one that you talk about for the rest of your life. It's really difficult to predict how it's going to go. I was talking about this about 45 minutes ago. The thing about boxing is that most people can get knocked down and lose a fight. We've seen Joshua, Wilder, we've seen it happen. But with these two guys, there's something about them that transcends boxing. We've seen Fury get up from a punch that should have put him down. We know Usyk's been through a lot as well, and he's mentally tough. I don't like the statement that it's it's a line from Rocky, and when he says to Drago, "You're gonna have to put me down. You're gonna have to kill me." And look, that's Hollywood filmmaking, but in real life, I think Usyk and Fury, if I see one of those knocked out, unable to get up tonight, I'll be stunned. I don't think that they're the sort of people that the sort of fighters that are just. It would have to be one hell of a punch to put them down. And I don't think. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think Usyk's got the punch to put Fury down anyway. Because I think he's more of a technical fighter. Fury has got the power to do it, but I think it's going to... I just get the feeling it's going to be a long fight, this one. I do. Shout out to my dad, says, I don't know. I can't read your name, mate. It's... I don't know what that name is. Gut feeling for the fight, says Reese. Look, it's a great question. My gut feeling is that it will go to Fury. But it will really depend on how well he's trained. I mean, the great thing about boxing is we can all have an idea of how it's going to go, 100%, and we can all make our predictions. But you know, you don't know until the bell rings which way it's going to go, because you don't know how well they've trained. You don't know. You just don't know how sharp they are. You don't know how. You don't know anything about like how that's going to work out. So. Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited about it, though. And I think that what we've got here is two really, really, really interesting competitors. That's amazing. We've got nearly 3 times the live viewers of Sky Sports Boxing live stream. We're changing the game. You're absolute legends, everybody. Absolute legends. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. We're just waiting on the ring walk now, which I've been told is going to... Well, I haven't been told. They haven't rung me up and told me, but I'm told they're going to be walking out in about 5 to 10 minutes. And then the real... I mean, look, I'm going to be... I'm going to go off like a bottle of pop. I mean, personally, this is just so exciting. So exciting. To have this in front of us tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely incredible. Bring it on. I just want Mark back for good, says Owen, who loves Take That. Mandy Songwriter, I hope you're doing well, Mandy, says, I hope Tyson hasn't lost too much weight and made himself weak. When did you say your book will be arriving, Mark? It's out on August the 1st, Mandy. Yeah, it's out on August the 1st. I mean, I'm really, I can't believe I've got a book coming out, but yeah, it's out for the new season. Thank you for years of entertainment, Mark, says 12th Man Toon. Well, it's nice, you know, I know we do a lot about football, but I really enjoy doing different stuff. And, you know, the Super Bowl watch-along is always... A very special time. The charity stream is always a very special time, but it's nice to get these events, you know, like this. I think that this is all going to be about mentality. Where's Fury's head? Usyk will be up for it, mentally in the game. Fury, I think this fight all comes down to that. We know what he's like when he's in the zone. When Fury's in the zone, he can't be beat. But when he's not in the zone, he can become vulnerable. And Usyk is the sort of fighter that Usyk's like relentless. He'll keep chipping away. He'll do his job. Bang, bang, bang. But I'm going to go Fury. We've got a live poll going out on YouTube, by the way. Who wins the fight? It's had nearly 30,000 votes. And when we started, it was close to 70% for Fury. And it's now down to 60% for Fury. So what we can say is that we're starting to see a little bit of drop-off the closer we get. Because, quite rightly, I think it is 60-40. I think that actually is right. I think it's 60% chance Fury, 40% Usyk. I think that's respectful. I think that's right. I don't think it's a 50-50 fight. I think Fury does have an advantage, but it's not a huge advantage. And I think the respect for Usyk has to be there. He is... You take Fury out the game, he's the best fighter in the world. This is the fight for who is the best heavyweight boxer in the world, and therefore the best fighter in the world because it's the biggest. So this is what this is. This is what we're getting tonight. We are getting the 2 best fighters in the world together for the undisputed. Whatever happens, whoever wins, the loser ain't a loser. They're just not the best. They're still the second best. somebody, I've just got to answer this. Somebody's been speaking about rematches. There is a rematch clause. I heard something about a trilogy. It's not normal you get a trilogy unless one wins one and one wins the other. But there is a rematch clause. It doesn't mean it'll happen. You know, with Fury, he might win this fight and say, that's it, I've retired again. And he'd probably come back. But I think Fury needs boxing. But Usyk's not going to retire either. So I think it depends. The thing about a rematch is whether a rematch suits. You know, it's interesting. I mean, it's probably one for the end of the fight, but I don't see a scenario where they wouldn't want a rematch. To be honest with you, no. Ian Nichols says 28 minutes and the bell rings, mate. So we're talking about 20 to 12. Lovely stuff. Greg Frost says Fury's reach is massive. I mean, I don't care if they say it's not starting until 1 o'clock. The enormity of this fight is amazing. Ring walks were meant to be about 11 o'clock, but obviously it's now 10 past 11. Goldbridge versus Pratthurst would be generational. John, I think you are, you know, disrespecting me. I'm 6 foot. I don't think Samuel Luckhurst is 6 foot. That would be like a heavyweight against a lightweight, you know. So I'd have the bigger reach. I'd have the higher ground. Owen says I meant reach, not weight. Shout out to my dad Boroff, and my grandma Gala is the best, and she makes the best tea. Shout out to my mum Olga too. There we go. Do you think the fat man will fly into the ring? This is Pepsi. And I reckon Usyk is the better boxer, but Fury has the height and weight advantage, says Owen United. And Sultan says Saudi saved boxing. Hopefully they can save United as well by buying a few of our players. Rank Ricky Hatton, Lennox Lewis and Chris Eubanks, says Mason. On pure boxing ability, Lewis first, Eubanks second, Hatton third. Ricky Hatton's another one, isn't he? You know, he's another Bruno in the sense that you wanted him to take on the world, but ultimately he just came up short against better boxers. And I think Hatton, pound for pound, is a better fighter than a better boxer than Bruno. But yeah, ultimately he you know, he couldn't live with the best, could he? And that was a hell of a weight division he was in as well. Lath says, can you explain this fight in football terms? Well, there's two teams, and it's a bit like golden goal, really. If you score the winning goal, it's over. Essentially, we haven't got two teams, we've got two men. And if they throw the winning punch, the other guy won't get up, and it's over. If they don't throw the winning punch, it's decided on penalties, really, which is done by judges. Do you predict City losing tomorrow, says Cornflakes? Look, we're doing a boxing watch-along, but can I just say to any Arsenal fan that thinks you've got a chance tomorrow, don't waste your emotions. You are wasting it. It just won't happen. I've been in this position. We had it with QPR, and look what happened there. Do not waste your breath waiting on a miracle. It will not happen with Manchester City, because Manchester City are not normal. They are a juggernaut. They are not capable of doing what a normal team would, i.e. being human and maybe dropping the ball and not getting a result against West Ham. That game, I hope for Arsenal fans, that game's over at half-time because Man City are winning 4 or 5-0, because you need to just absolutely not believe at all. You've got absolutely no chance. Spurs blew it for you. That was it. Yeah. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're doing fantastic. We've got 16,300 people watching, which is brilliant for a football channel community. But I think it works because effectively that's what this is. It's a major event. This is event. This is a life event. This is event watching. And the great thing about boxing is anybody can watch it. You can respect it and watch it a lot more than others, but ultimately it's two people in a ring fighting, and it's the two best people in the world in a ring. Captain, thanks for the follow, and the Mantler as well, and Owen Smith, legend. Bit of activity going on there. Shevchenko, Stevie G, Klitschkov, Holyfield, David Hay, Joshua and Ronaldo. There we go. Just rattle. Give me someone else. I'll know who it is. Gives a shout out, Mark, says Martin. Please share the video if you're watching. Love that. Still 60% going for Fury, 40% going for Usyk. As we await the ring walks, Jaden and Finley, thank you very much for the follow. What do you think about David Hay? That was a question from earlier. I quite like David Hay. What was the fight David Hay had? Was it Joshua? When basically his left foot went from underneath him. You're going to do any Olympics watch-alongs, says Connor. It's not really watch-alongable, to be honest. Would Obi-Wan win if he didn't have the high ground, says Edvin. I like this comment. And Lewis Mason says, Bruno versus Tyson was in Vegas the same night that Tupac got shot. I was sure they fought at Wembley and it rained. Pretty sure they did. Anyway, back to this fight. I said this a little bit earlier, that if Usyk was the same height as Fury, Usyk wins. I'm sure Frank Bruno fought in the rain. I don't think it was... I don't know. I can't find it. But yeah, I think if Usyk was the same size as Fury and the same weight, he probably would win. Mark Adams, thanks for your super chat. I've got a tenner on Fury, says DeMark. How will your watch along work tomorrow? Says Sebastian. I'm just doing Man United tomorrow against Brighton. I'm not interested in final day shit. I think it's a crap final day in the Premier League. Everyone's been relegated. Man City are going to win the league. Villa have got top four. So I'm just going to watch Man United and see how we perform ahead of the FA Cup on the United stand. Yeah. Look, it would have been interesting if we'd have had a title or something, but no, I think it would be quite boring. ISO's got £5,000 on Usyk. And it's Edvin says, where is the friend whose mum called him on toilet? Don't know what you're watching there. And Sir Gareth Southgate says, how can Everton legally ban you from Goodison without a proper reason? Mate, I only know what you know on that. I don't know. And look, I'm glad they did let Ginge play, but he was at Goodison singing Feed the Scousers at Christmas. So whatever I've done must be bloody terrible. I don't know what it is. And they let Ginge play today. Where is the friend? Don't know what that's all about. Jared Bowen is the only hero tomorrow, hopefully, says Greg Forrest. And Everton have got Yakublu. Everton have got every right to ban me. It's not the first thing they've banned, is it? They've banned winning trophies since the mid-80s. So, you know, They've got every right to ban what they like, but it's just think it's a bit small-minded as a football club. What if Anakin loved sand, says Vlad, and Mark, what? Ben says Grassbridge. Mate, it's too late. Ginger's already played at Goodison, so I don't think it really matters. It's because of your long rivalry with Sean Dyche. I don't care who plays at Old Trafford. You can have angry Ginge, happy Ginge. At the end of the day, any Ginge is welcome, but not that Goldbridge. He can't be there. I've had enough of his jokes about my gravel voice. It was David Hay versus Bello when he did his foot, DeMark. Thank you very much. We're getting ready. We're getting ready here. It's happening. Stay calm, everybody. Get ready. Mr. Leo says, what about if one of them get cut? Well, look, he did get cut in the... I mean, look, that's always one of my fears in boxing. You don't want it to happen to either fighter. You don't want them to get a bad cut because it can be the end of any good fight. So yeah, we don't want to see anybody getting cut, but some boxers are more prone to a cut than others. There is stuff they can do out there on the ring, but yeah, it can be damaging. I mean, fights can be stopped because of a cut. So, why you never play charity matches, says Kaka. Oh God, I am playing charity matches. I was meant to be playing about 7 this summer. I've got a couple coming up very, very soon. A couple of them might surprise you where they are. And yeah, Manager Bridge has been retired for a year because I'm out on the pitch, hopefully. I don't know whether the sidemen will let me play out on the pitch. I think they'll bottle that because I think they're scared. I think Mini Minter's scared of me getting out on the pitch. But I don't know whether I'm involved with sidemen. You never know. But I will be on the pitch for some games, definitely. I've got myself to a reasonable level of fitness. I've never really took the time to do it. So hopefully can roll back the years. I'm playing at OLEKSANDR. That's going to be a really good tournament. I mean, it's not a very big ground. I don't think there'll be loads and loads of people there. We've got 4 good teams playing in that one. I'm playing with Ginge on that one. I'm playing on his team. There's a music show before the fight. Yeah. What channel's the fight on? Says XSV. I mean, it's on Sky Box Office. I think it's on TNT. It's on DAZN. Yeah, it's on. I think it's on quite a lot, and I'm sure people will find other ways to watch it as well. Thanks for the follow, Coldplay. Appreciate that. Yeah, no one really cares about the music, do they? Yeah, I don't care if they've got Noel Gallagher, Coldplay, and Bono doing a threesome of music. It wouldn't rock my boats. I'm here to watch fighting, not singing. It's a fighting show. We want to watch fighting. If I want to put MTV on, I'll bloody put it on. Have you seen my TikTok that's just gone out? Oh, it's gone out yet a day ago. That is funny. Lovely stuff. Thanks everyone who's watching on TikTok, by the way. Right. Terrible atmosphere, says HD. Well, we don't need to worry about that because we've got our own atmosphere going on here. Harley's ready for bed. Mate, sleep can wait. This is a massive fight. You can't be tired about this. You've got to be absolutely ready for this. It's massive. Absolutely massive. Would you like to see a United... Colin, I'm not getting political. Sorry. Put all Premier League matches in the ring. Who wins? It's got to be Dyche. Can you imagine him? I think the first thing he'd do is he'd rip his shirt off. And then I think he'd eat 3 of the managers. Not in that way. Like, he'd probably eat someone like Thomas Frank whole. And like ripping heads off and everything. He'd be an absolute animal in a Royal Rumble, Dyche. I can't think of a manager that'd get anywhere near him. If Allardyce had been around, maybe, but yeah. Who would win, Yoda or Palpatine? Yoda. It's Edvin. Love that. Ange, yeah, big Ange would be a good one. Yeah, Ange versus Deitch. They'd all be throwing everyone out, and then they'd turn around, it'd be each other, and it'd be like the end of a rumble. Who is this rapping? I mean, you're asking the wrong person. It's not Vanilla Ice. I've got no idea. Absolutely none. Jid, that's who it is. Or could be JID. Look, I'm exposed when it comes to rapping, really. It's not my era. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. What a fight. Just get the music off. I think this is agitating people. They need to hurry up and fight, says Andy. Yeah. If I tell you what, if I was Fury or Usyk, I would not be watching this. I'd have my headphones in and I'd be listening to Final Countdown by Europe. This would not be getting me ready for fighting. Who would win in a bare knuckle fight? Gabriel Heinze or Alessandro Martinez? Probably Martinez, Lewis, because Heinze will be getting on a bit now. Connell says, who's the biggest villain in football history? My personal biggest villain in football history is probably Maradona for the hand of God. But he's also the best footballer I've seen as well. Who do you actually want to win? Like, is everybody Fury? Because I'm seeing a lot of people on TikTok saying Usyk. Is that because you just don't like Fury and the way he behaves? Or would you go for Fury because, you know, he's from Morecambe Bay? Or like, I want Fury to win, but I really do like Usyk. But I think ultimately at the end, I want to see Fury winning, and I think if Usyk won, I'd feel quite disappointed. Do you watch F1 sometimes, says Mads? Not anymore. No, I find it. I'm hoping it will get better at some point, but I mean, I grew up with F1. Like I remember, I used to watch it every like Sunday at my dad's. Nigel Mansell, Damon Hill, Schumacher, Senna, Prost, the lot. But from Prost to Lost, I turned it off for many years. Got back into it, and then it's gone shit again. I mean, it's just, you've got amazing drivers. Why can't you have a set of cars that are roughly the same? Sayesh says there's no way that Ten Hag wins in his opinion. I think it's going to be a long one. I think it's going to be a tactical, technical fight. And I think it really just... Look, Usyk knows he's not going to knock Fury out in the first... In fact, Usyk probably knows he's not going to knock Fury out. So his whole game plan will be longevity. The danger is if Fury thinks he can knock Usyk out and just burns himself out at the start. Usyk's game plan is quite simple, isn't it? I'm not going to knock him out because I probably haven't got the power to do it. So I'm looking at winning this fight on points. Whereas Fury might think he can knock him out, and that could burn him out. It's tactical. I think it's going to be a tactical fight. What do you think about Madrid with Mbappe and Davies? Have they got Davies yet? Alex says Mark's illegally streaming the fight. Yeah, try and prove it, Alex, but I'm definitely not. For two reasons. One, there'd be a delay, and I'm doing a watch-along of it. And two, it's 25 quid, mate. So... I just got it on Sky Sports box office. Imagine rapping in a cube knowing no one cares, says Tom E. And does Fury beat AJ if Fury gets past Usyk? Wow. Good question from Jacob. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, Usyk's coming out here. If this was Joshua walking out, I'm not 60-40 in Fury's favour. I'm 90-10. That might be a little bit too far. I'm 80-20. I think Fury beats Fury. I think Fury beats AJ quite comfortably based on logic. Now, Fury can, of course... Sorry, Joshua can, of course, throw a punch and could win it. But I think Fury's the better boxer. As Agile B says, he's on a different level. It's heavyweight boxing, though. Look, James Buster Douglas on Tyson is always the one that's used as you catch somebody with the wrong punch at the right time, it's over. Alone Gamer, thank you very much for the follow. We've got nearly 20,000 people watching on YouTube, by the way, and nearly 3,000 watching on TikTok. So, absolute legends. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you share it. This is what it's all about. It's event. I merely said event television, but many of us aren't watching it on television. So, but it is an event of our time. It is generational, I believe, and I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. Usyk on point, says Jack. Yeah, it works. I think that's going to be the plan. I think that will be the plan. He'll certainly been training for that, no doubt about it. Well, Fury's not just about to come out. Usyk's in the ring. I'm going to put my headphones on in a minute. God, I'm nervous. Look, thanks everyone who's tuning in, because I've watched boxing fights on my own sometimes because the wife's not into it. So it's nice to have a bit of company for it, but yeah, I'm nervous about this one. It's such a big fight. Such a big fight. Let's get ready. Oh, I've just gone up a level now, haven't I? Let's be honest. I've gone up a level now. Does Fury beat AJ? Yeah, I've done that one from Jacob Davies. Mark, you look like Ollie and Gallagher from Chelsea. And that's from Kaka. And Stu says, do you see Potter going to United? Oh, God. Only in my nightmares. Only in my nightmares. Liam, thanks for the follow. Fury's just about to come out here. Let's get ready to rumble. He's coming out to Barry White. It's Barry White, isn't it? My everything. Well, I don't know. I don't know how to read Fury. I really don't. Sam says Fury's going to get humbled hard. Usyk's come out really focused and serious, and Tyson Fury is walking out like Apollo Creed against Ivan Drago when he came out to, you know, he's actually dancing. And Barry White. It comes down to this. It's all going to come down to this. What is his prep like? What is his mentality like? Oh, he's got Bonnie Tyler coming on now. We need a hero. But I always think about this. Like all this jumping around and shadowboxing. You are using up a bit of energy, aren't you? I would just walk in. He's got skinny chicken legs. Wait till you see mine in a charity game, mate. I can't do anything with my legs. In fact, me and Fury have got very similar bodies. You know, massive arms and fists and a massive punch, but thin legs. What are you going to do? He's still doing some sort of dancing here. Right, we're ready. Come on, let's get it on. He's running to the ring as well. Look, could be wasted energy, could be getting him going. Tyson's legs are so thin, this doesn't look good, says Mandy Songwriter. Oh, they've always been like that, Mandy. They're not. He's not shaved them off for the fight. I must admit, I want Fury to win. Definitely want Fury to win. But if he was if Fury was like American and Usyk was English, you'd really not like Fury. No, nothing against Americans. I'm just saying I'm English, so I'd want Usyk to win if he was English. But Fury probably does a lot of what he does to try and get in the head. But I don't think it'll work with Usyk. I don't know. National anthems now. Goats, thanks for the follow. Harley says, I think Usyk's a little nervy as well. Fury's not serious enough in my opinion, says Joel Webber. Well, we've been speaking about this for the last hour. It will always come down to the mentality of the two fighters. And Usyk will be like a reliable Vauxhall Astra. And Fury can be a Ferrari, but can also be a dustbin lorry. We don't know what we're going to get from him. Multigamer says, have you got a charity streamed planned this year? Yeah, always in the international break in November. Fury versus Usyk. Here we go. We're just going to have the national anthems, and they are going to start fighting at around 20 to midnight, which is what somebody predicted, of course. Are you going to do full commentary? Yes. Well, I mean, look, I say full commentary. Football's more my thing, but there's Klitschko. Is he not? He's the president of Ukraine, isn't he? Or no, he's not the president. He's something to do with Ukraine. They'll be starting in about 3 or 4 minutes. It's just the national anthem for Fury now. There'll be the stare down in the middle of the ring. The thing I always find captivating about boxing is when it comes to like football, there's 11 of you and you're all out there. But boxing, you have these big entourages around you that have been working with you for weeks, months. And then it all comes down to half an hour, man against man. You're completely alone. The mental game is massive, isn't it? Absolutely massive. Well, get ready. Get ready. I'm nervous. Oh, I can't get to me bloody... Am I still live on YouTube? Because I can't bloody get on it now. Oh, I'll just close it all down. Sorry, I'd lost my live chat there. the wrong time. How many Man United games have you actually been to, speaking? Do you want me to tell me how many sausage sandwiches I've had as well, or how many times I've slept with a woman? Bloody hell, you're weird. There's weird people out there. Right, we're back anyway. Ring talk. Ronaldo. Fury. Sorry, Joshua and Ronaldo outside. Mark Adams, thanks for your super chat. Appreciate that. I'm getting nervous now. Are you nervous? I feel like I'm commentating with this, this is fake. It's headphones so I can hear. £25. Sky want to watch this. Again, like it's. I don't really know how you put a price on something like this because I've paid it and it's Usyk against Fury. Like I don't. I've paid fucking 20 quid for a load of shit before. Undefeated against undefeated. Somebody's O has got to go. United getting battered tomorrow, apparently. Couldn't give a shit, mate. It's amazing how people think I'm really interested in what Man United are doing tomorrow when I'm watching one of the biggest fights of a generation. Love your content, Mark. Looking forward to tomorrow's coverage, says Gaz. I'm not going to say you never walk alone, but I just did. Ronaldo's got a pair of shorts on. Why wouldn't you with legs like that? Are you fighting the winner, Mark, says Kai? Well, I'm just trying to fit it into my schedule, really. Can we get it on before Christmas? I do like to go to Centre Parks, and also I'm not willing to not drink in November. So it's $70 in the US, says Mario. Wow. There's a lot of chat going on at the moment. 21-0. It's a seminal moment in sport. It's well worth £25, says Lee Berman. And I don't get nervous, but I'm getting a bit shaky, says Owen. I'm getting excited here. Really excited. There's a part of me that I never even thought we'd see this fight. Right, they're just reading about Fury now. Joel Webber says he needs to make a cup of tea. You won't have time. You've left it too late. You're not going to be able to boil a tea, brew it, and have it before the first round. Fury. Oh, just get it on. Get it on. Let's have it. Fight. Fight. Professional fight. What's happening with the career modes? I fixed it, Glenio. So basically, I did what somebody told me to. I got the sack unjustly, and somebody said, don't pick a new team, don't save it, just let it go into rest mode. Went into rest mode, turned itself off, turned it back on again, went into FIFA career mode. Next game, Forest. I'm still Man United manager. I'm still very low, but I've still got my job. I thought I was going to lose my job. Graham Colt, thanks for the follow. Right, here we go. They're coming into the middle of the ring now. Come on, come on. Let's have it. Ooh, come on. Come on, then. Are you going to watch UFC, says Big. I don't really watch it, mate. How many bacon sandwiches have you had, says Andrew. Well, I used to have one every Saturday lunchtime between the ages of about 12 and 16, because that's what we used to have for lunch on a Saturday, and I'd have it watching Football Focus, so... Probably had a few hundred, to be fair. Usyk just stares Fury down. Fury's moving his head about. He is the man of steel, but he's also the man of movement. Whereas Usyk is just staring down. He ain't moving. It's all about the eyes. Time to go to school. Still locked 60-40. The undisputed. This is for the undisputed. Neither man has been beat. Round one. Ding, ding. All the years, all the talk comes down to this. Two men in a ring. Usyk's got this very bouncy. It's almost like Scott McTominay with the bunny hop. He's very bouncy on his feet, probing away. Two men in a ring, says Doughty. Yeah. Two men, one ring. Yeah. We're not doing any of that. Yeah, we're 3-minute rounds, 12 rounds. So you're talking about 40 minutes. 36. Yeah. 45. Bronzy says Usyk looks very concentrated here. I'm quite impressed with Fury, actually, to start off with, because I did say, a few people have been saying it this week, will Fury come out, try and win it quick and exert energy? Certainly not. He's not coming out throwing big punches. Usyk will be looking to do this for 12 rounds, picking up the points. Drew says Usyk's going to dominate rounds 3 to 7. I'd say Usyk's got this round 1. Quite a few body shots. Oh, come on. Fury playing to the crowd there. Not unusual. Some would say it's unprofessional, but it's not unusual for him to do that. $30 seconds to go. Buster says, I think you should freshen your trim. I've literally freshened it up one haircut away after about 6 years. There's more length on it now than there's ever been. That's what she said. Oh. Usyk very focused. I'll give him round 1, I think. Where are you going with that one then? Where are you going with that first round? Lots of body shots from Usyk. I mean, look, Fury's not hurt by any of it, but you have to give a round. It's early days. It's not going to... Well, it could lose you the fight, but I think in the long term... I don't think Fury's going to be too bothered, but I think I'd give it to Usyk. But a lot of people are saying Tyson's round. He's got one to the face there. I'd give it Usyk that round. Close, but I'd give it Usyk just. Thanks for all the super chats tonight, by the way. Thanks everyone who's tuning in on TikTok and on YouTube as well. Make sure you give us a follow and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Round 2. Oh, it was just landed a good punch there, Usyk, straight away. I think Usyk started better off here. Look. You have to really remember that you're not going to put Fury down and keep him down. Ryan says, it's definitely Usyk's round one. I don't know what people are talking about. Yeah, I don't know where the Fury stuff's coming from. And Usyk started off really well again. Which isn't a surprise. He's a very technical boxer. Just toying around with each other at the moment. Getting the scale extric out. Yeah, I don't know what Fury's wearing. It looks like a mini skirt, but there is a pair of shorts underneath it. He's got him in the corner again, Usyk here. Just needs to start getting the jab going, Fury. He's not really on the front foot at all at the moment. Although he is starting to move it now. Still being a bit of a showman. He's settled into this round a lot better. But Usyk's coming forward again. Another one to the body. These punches aren't hurting either of them, but it's all about getting through, picking up the points. Johan says Tyson's in trouble. I think it's too early to tell, really. I think Fury's playing the long game, which was one of the big concerns I had coming into it, was whether he'd try and win it early. And you won't do that against Usyk, I don't think. So if he's in for the long game... Oh, big low punch from Fury. And another one. Really, I might just be giving this one to Fury at the moment. Although, he's got him in the corner. Usyk, couple left to the face. One to the chest from Fury. It's definitely a better round, this. The pace has gone up a little bit. I don't know which way you're going to call this. Usyk came out very well straight away. He's got a few punches in, but I think Fury's through. Oh, he's caught him again. I think this is Fury's round. Yeah, end of round 2. What are your thoughts on that? Tough one. I'd say I'm sort of with Giles, who says Fury round 2, Usyk round 1. It was close. It was close, that. I'd almost go with John C as well. Matty, thanks for the follow. Could have been a draw that round. It was tight. It was tight. Could have been a tie. I think the first one was Usyk, and I'd say that one... It's close. I think my favouritism to Fury gives it to Fury, but then if I was Usyk, I might think it was his as well. Round 2, 12 to go. Yeah, he's landed a couple there right at the start of the round. That was the 2 we saw. 2 to the face. Tony thinks Usyk could be 2 up. Here we go. This is skill versus genetics, says Vic. Right, Fury's got to come out a little bit now. I think to be fair, first round Fury was a bit flat. Second round he came into it more, so we need to see a little bit more work from Fury now. Usyk's going to be conducting for the whole fight. Fury has got to get up to rhythm and start, you know, this is Fury Usyk. This is the biggest fight of a generation. Fights can go round very, very quickly. Would you stream Fury versus Paul? If so, who'd you have your money on? Well, if that, I'll quit boxing if that happens. Bit of a slower round so far. Vic says if Fury wins, boxing is dead. Why is that? Yeah, very tentative round 3 at the moment. Although he's caught him again, Usyk there. Yeah, I'd say Usyk at the moment's just gone through the gears a bit in the last 20 seconds. Only 50 seconds left of the round. I don't think Fury's done enough in this one so far. Who do you think AJ's rooting for? I think he'd like the Fury fight, wouldn't he? He's been beat by Usyk. Boring fight so far, says the HPN. It's a bit like a big football match, isn't it? You know, they don't always pop off as classics. Although Fury just got caught a little bit. Yeah, round 3. And we've got a quarter of the fight already. How much do you pay for the pay-per-view, says Steve? 25 quid with Sky Sports. I think it was pretty much that. Yeah, round 3. I'd say that this is Usyk at the moment, who's got the bigger advantage. That's just my opinion. Could be 3 down. Could be 2-1 down. Could be 2-0 down if the second round was a tie. Right, round 4. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Come on. Come on, Tyson. Start throwing a few. He's still bouncing around, being a bit cocky, but I think Fury's been going backwards a lot in this fight. I think he's better when he goes forward, and he needs to start doing it. It's just the sheer mentality of both these fighters, though. I mean, Usyk's never been beaten, and neither's Fury. So we are watching something here that, all right, if it goes the distance, it goes the distance, and it's done on points, isn't it? But we could see one of these people put down and beat. Vinnie Jones versus Keane. Who wins? I'd pay for it, says Chris. I think Vinnie Jones would win, wouldn't he? Stephen says, I've got Usyk up 3 rounds to 0. More punches every round. 12 rounds, Wogan. Look, I'm not surprised at the moment. Uppercut from Fury. Yeah, I think Fury's got to start taking this to Usyk, because I'm not surprised by Usyk at all. He's going to keep probing away, doing his job, Mr. Professional, probe. Technically a very good boxer, and as we were talking about in the preview, if Usyk was the same size as Fury, he probably wins because he's a better technical boxer. Fury's got to use the height. He's got to use the power. Way too much. Wait, you're right. Absolutely right. So many punches going in from Usyk. Ten seconds. Round 4. That could be 4 to Usyk. At the moment, it's just it's a boxing. I wouldn't say masterclass, but it's a boxing. Well, it's just relentless, isn't it? Stephen says it could be 2-2. Wow, you don't know. You don't know in boxing. You just don't know how. I said this before. I've watched plenty of fights where you think you know what the score is, and then it doesn't always go like that. Sam Haynes says, I bet on Usyk to win over 7.5 rounds. Chris says, I think it's likely to be a draw. There's too much money involved not to have a rematch. Surely we're not talking about fixing. Usyk's got a bit of a cut. They're saying it doesn't look that serious, though, on the commentary. D Savage says it's a nasty cut, but they've just said on the commentary they don't think it's very serious, but we'll keep an eye on that. Pardon the pun. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. And we were talking about this before the fight as well. Cuts can be really unlucky. A lot of people saying they felt that Fury got that last round. But he's been on the back foot a lot, hasn't he, Fury? No, good work there, though. But it could be tactical. Parker says boxing shouldn't have points. It should be fight till KO. I think this is a better round from Fury so far. Yeah. Bit more on the front foot here from Fury. Starting to loosen up. This is the thing now. Another low one. I just heard the referee talking about the cut. Keep an eye on that cut. Minute to go. I'd give this one to Fury. Still a long way to go. We're only in round 5. Not halfway through yet. A little bit more front foot from Fury. You just wonder whether it's tactical to let... Although Usyk comes back again. Bit of a hug. Ollerman says, Fury KO round 9. I have watched the Fury documentary yet. 15 seconds to go. I'd definitely give this round to Fury unless anything happens in the last 10. Constantine says no beer tonight. Fury's too big for Usyk. Oh, I've had my beer tonight. Yeah, I definitely think that one for me was a Fury round. Round 5. Four and 5, they're saying on the TV, looked like it was going to Fury. What are your thoughts so far? Probably going to type. Probably going to type in the sense that it's ebbed and flowed. It's a tactical battle. No one's really getting through. The shots are every now and again a shot will get through to the body or the head, but it's not going to hurt either of these two fighters enough to take them down. Fury has got this fight in the bag. Usyk is blowing already. This is only going to go one way. Well, I think that's a very good observation. Sean is listening from Canada. Dari saying that Usyk's starting to blow already. He did in the last couple of rounds. He seemed to have just taken a step back, but I wouldn't expect. That's not what I wouldn't expect. That I wouldn't expect Fury to have more in the tank than Usyk. Because Usyk would know he's got to go the distance. BBB says AJ would kill Fury. You don't really know much about boxing, do you, BBB? Usyk took Joshua to school. He's hitting a lot of the low punches, Fury. HBN says Fury needs to target that cut. And is it true? Yeah, Bailey, I'm not going to say that. Come on. Jake Smith on TikTok says Fury's got his range in now. I think the fight's settled down now, certainly. Definitely give Fury the last couple of rounds. Probably give it to Usyk at the start, but that's the quality of the two fighters, isn't it? It's going to ebb and flow. Jalen says, wait for the second wind from Usyk. Ooh, onto the body shot again from Fury. And again. And an uppercut as well. He's got him. Usyk's in a bit of trouble here. Minute left in the round. Uppercut. 2 to the body before that. And Usyk's now on the back foot as Fury moves in. And again, the power's starting to show. It's the first time in the fight we've really seen the dominance of Fury and the power of Fury start to come through. But look at Usyk. You know, we've seen lesser men rattled by those sorts of shots, and Fury can move in and finish the fight. But Usyk has steadied the ship like a ship hitting an iceberg. He's hurt, but he ain't sinking. He's recovered well there, Usyk. He has recovered well. Harley says he's hurt, but I think he's recovered from that well. Both men are just so focused, undefeated. He'll know. Usyk won't be too worried. He knows he's going to get hurt. Fury gets hit a lot. Definitely Fury's round, though. I'd say it's probably... I'd say they're probably drawing, aren't they? I'd probably have them down as drawing at the moment. 4-2 Fury says old school. Could be 4-2 Fury. I'd definitely give Fury the last 3. It's just whether if you give him one of the other ones. I think round 1... I should be writing this down. I had round 1 Usyk, round 2 I'm stuck on, round 3 Usyk, and then I've got 4, 5, 6, Fury. So it's either 4-2, Fury, 3-3, or if it was a tie, 3-2. Yeah, we've seen a lot of body shots from Fury. Obviously, it's very tactical, but don't always see it. But it's obviously an area that they've gone to target, because not only is it hurt, but it also knocks the wind out of you, doesn't it? It can tire you out. Ronaldo versus Glazer's exhibition bout, says Mikel. Guys, 10 past midnight. Fucking hell. Mario says, I know we were comparing Fury to Apollo Creed, but he's really the size and power of Drago, says Mario. Well, we're into round 7 here. Liam says this is going to be where he wins it. I think at the moment Fury looks the better conditioned, in the better condition at the moment. Usyk lands a good left. ISO says Fury's up by a round. Daniel Porter says Fury's grinding him down. This could be a... Well, we've had half this round already and nothing's really happened in it. It could be a bit of a slow round. "12 rounds, Glenio." Fury's caught another right on Usyk. Minute left in the round. Probably about level again. When would the Joshua fight take place anyway? Because surely there's a rematch after this. Yeah, they're just saying on the commentary there, Fury's dictating the pace here, just having a bit of a walk around, then hitting him at will. Oh, oh, Usyk. It's not. I mean, he's not going to knock him. Well, he could knock him down. I don't think he's really got the power for it, but not much in that round. Literally just said that. I don't know. Round 7. I don't know. It's a tough one. I do like Conor McGregor, Constantine. Yeah, again, he's another one with a bit of a personality like Fury, isn't he? But I do like him. Luke on TikTok says that was Fury all day. I'm a bit with Taylor. I think I'm like that with that one. I'm going to put it down like round 2. Not sure. It is quite a problematic cut, that, for Usyk. It's right on the brow line. Yeah, that was a good punch by Fury. Caught him with the uppercut. But then... could have been Fury's round, that, when you look at the two connections. Usyk's got a cut. But Fury comes out starting strong here in round 8. The Beast said, would you do a McGregor watch-along when it happens? Rudrich has still got it on Fury. Oh, Usyk going in. He's busier at the moment. Yeah. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can count five full rounds left. Next round's the one, says my Damned United. I think it's going to go the distance. I do at the moment, unless they both really tire. I mean, one good hit can change that, but I always, don't take it the wrong way, but I always focus on the legs. The legs are what, you can see it in the legs when they're hurt. Oh, good couple of punches there. Could be Usyk's round so far. Cal says, a lot of these exchanges in the corners of the ring is Fury catching all these heavy shots on the gloves, pivoting out beautifully. He's in full control. And Peter says, Usyk looks like the type to take hostages in the Nakatomi Plaza, but Fury wins out in the end wearing a white vest. Yippee-ki-yay, you big dosser. You're a fan of Die Hard, aren't you, Peter? I'd say Usyk looks the more tired, but he has definitely been the more busy. Usyk gets through again. I'm giving this round to Usyk, I am. Unless it changes. There's a lot of blood. I presume it's Usyk's. No, could be... No, I don't know. I think it's a nose. I think it's Fury's nose. There's blood on both men, but I think it might be Fury's nose. Yeah. All over his gloves. Yeah, they need to fix that. It's got a nosebleed. I give that to Usyk. I mean, I've got it 3 definitely to Usyk, 3 rounds definitely to Fury, and 2 of them really tight. So after round 8, it's probably a draw as far as I'm concerned. Mrs. Stone says Fury undisputed champion. Yeah, he busted his nose there, definitely. Yeah, defo Usyk round, says Ryan. Question says, this is the round where Fury wins it. Wow, look, they're the 2 best boxers on the planet. They've never been beaten. There's not an obvious favourite. They've not really fixed Fury's nose, really, have they? Anne says Usyk's winning. NFL or boxing, which is more damaging in the long term, says Mrs. Stone. I don't know. Captivating last 4 rounds, that's for sure. Round 9. When is Tyson against Jake Paul? I mean, it's an exhibition for me. I don't really buy into those fights. Fury does need a good round because Usyk's just got himself busy again. Oh. Very even round so far. Minute 20 to go. Usyk's been busy again. Mark says Usyk's winning this. Fury just coming back into it a bit. It's very intriguing around this one. It's, you know, there's a left from Usyk and a right from Fury, and I think Usyk's caught him on the chin. Bloody hell. He's got him. He's got him. 25 seconds to go. Fury's in trouble. He's in really big trouble, Fury. Usyk, he's got to stand on his feet, Fury. He's got him. This could be it. Usyk. Oh. Fury stays on his feet. Oh my God. The bell. He looks done. Fury looks done here. Usyk's fucking... what did I say about the legs? He's caught him with the left and he's absolutely got him. And somehow, as we watch it back, I mean, it's just absolutely put him onto the ropes with a left, and then he's followed it through. And I've seen fights stopped. His legs are absolutely gone. And really, Usyk probably should finish him off. Yeah, he did. He got hit by a lot of shots there. They're just saying there, maybe he should have gone down. Because he's just gone and got hit loads more times. But whether he can come back from that. Ray Cowley says, curious, are points for each legal contact, or is it who's perceived to have the upper hand in each round? Well, let me just see the start of this, because I don't know. If Fury's not recovered, he's over. It's over. Usyk, round 10, is winning this fight. He's got to pull something out now, Fury. He's definitely lost that round. Usyk's had a very good fight. Undefeated. Theo says Fury's done. And it's a funny old fight because I felt like Fury had weathered Usyk's sort of early onslaught, got himself back into it, and then that second win of Usyk has predictably come through, and Fury's just not been able to respond to it. I mean, Fury's been down before and won fights. It's not like he can't come back. We saw what he did against Wilder. But he's got to hurt Usyk. He's got to hurt him. He's got to rock him. Oh, he's got him again in the corner. He's just a better boxer, isn't he? Just a better boxer, which we knew. Yeah, Mr. A, I know Usyk isn't Wilder. What I'm saying is Wilder hits harder than Usyk, and Fury's got up. What I'm saying is Fury can get up from an onslaught and still win a fight. But if he's going to do that, he's going to have to start very soon. There's only 2 rounds to go after this. Usyk's definitely trying to win it in He feels he's got Fury on the back foot. And he feels he's one more away. One good hit away. And he's won it. Oh, nearly caught him again. Bad leg work there from Fury. Jamie says he needs a knockout to win. He needs a big fucking round. This is I don't think Fury can turn this around on points. I think he's going to have to. Two to go. Usyk's round. I've got Usyk up on 2 rounds now. Thanks for the follow, Ben. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you give us a subscribe on YouTube. Usyk's fight to lose, says Kaz. Wow. What was it? Round 9. Usyk, absolutely incredible. As I said, there was enough punches landed there that would normally win a fight. Two rounds to go. Fury's going to have to go for it now. Usyk, I don't know. I think never count out Fury. Never, you can never count him out. But as we know, this is undefeated Usyk. And he's come out straight away throwing big punches. We've only got 2 rounds to go here. Fury's going to have to try, and he's going to really have to start now. Usyk's been... Look, unless something happens in the next 2 rounds, which it can, Usyk's been better. Joel says, I think Fury might have recovered. Well, I think he's recovered, but I don't... Has he got enough time? And it's not just time. He's got to get... He's got to hurt Usyk, hasn't he? And surprise, surprise, the guy who's just focused on his goal and his job is the guy on top at the moment. I'm not saying Fury hasn't, but there was always that question mark about whether... he's in the right space or not. Only a minute and a half left of this round. AWY says it could end up a draw. Ends up with a rematch, doesn't it? There's no way Fury wouldn't want a rematch. Unless he retires, but I can't see it. I don't think Fury would retire. I don't think it's that much of a domination. I think it's been a surprise in the sense that Fury's not managed to get on top. But it's not been dominant from Usyk. He's been the better fighter, but I wouldn't think Fury would retire. I think he'd fancy a rematch. Ten seconds to go. Caught him again. Well, that's probably Usyk's round again. Final round. I did say I wanted Fury to win, but I also said I really like Usyk, and it would be disappointing for Fury to lose, but Usyk's, I've got a lot of time for him. I think everybody has. It's interesting in the Tyson corner, they're saying don't take any risks. Yeah, they're sort of thinking that if they can win this round, that Fury's still got a chance. I don't. I think it's over. I think he need. I'm with you, Toby. I think he needs a knockdown. Tino says if Usyk knocked down Fury, I win 5k. Any knockdown. I don't know whether it was a technical knockdown when he was in round 9. Yeah, I can't see anything other than an Usyk win here, unless there's a knockdown. And deservedly so as well. I mean, look, we're not, I'd like Fury to win, but I'm not blind to the fact that Usyk's a fantastic boxer and has been better. There's not been enough front foot from Fury. 1 minute 25 to go. You know, Fury's younger than Usyk as well. Usyk's 37, Fury's 35. Yeah, well, Tom's right. Boxing is well known for its dodgy scoring. Chris says Usyk is a master boxer. He's just caught him, Fury. He's got to go again. There's a good right hand by Fury, but Fury doesn't want to follow it up. 40 seconds. Needed to follow it up. Nah. Twenty seconds. 15 seconds. I think it's Usyk's fight. The bell goes. Could be a draw. I don't think it should be a draw. Almost everyone gets defeated eventually, says Korean. I like Fury, but what happened here? He should be bodying Usyk. Why didn't it happen? Stick inside, says Constantine. Yeah, I've got Usyk winning. They're saying on there, Usyk winning. I mean, well, there's a bit of a hug and a kiss there as well. The respect afterwards. And they're having a chat. Yeah, I think he's won. I think Fury knows he's lost it as well, but I think you can tell. It's a good. Nice to see Tyson. What a fight as well, because I think obviously I wanted Fury to win. Probably a lot of people wanted Fury to win, but if you were a Usyk fan, that's a really good fight. Really good fight. I would like to see a replay, a rematch. But because that's what good fights should be all about. There should be one. I ain't got it down as a draw. A lot of people saying it's going to be a draw. There's an automatic rematch clause, says Tim. That's what I mean. There shouldn't. Usyk can still win and you can have a rematch. A lot of people saying draw. I've watched a lot of boxing in my life and I've seen some dodgy results. What about KSI Fury? But I don't think we're going to get that here. I put 2K on Usyk to win, to Steve. Nice to see the respect at the end as well, you know, because that's what boxing is, professional. Well, they're just saying on the telly there that they're expecting round 2 October. Automatic rematch clause, no matter what the win. And of course, if Fury was to win that one, then there'd probably be a trilogy. Thanks to everyone who's been watching, by the way. Make sure you give us a follow if you're on TikTok and give us a subscribe if you're on YouTube. I don't think there's anything to be nervous about for Frank Warren. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, 115 to 1112 Usyk. Oh, one of them's gone Fury. Split decision. Yeah, Usyk. It was close, though. It was close. 114 to 1113 on the final one. Undisputed Usyk. And he did deserve it. Split decision. Yeah, so the deciding judge had it 6 rounds of each, but the knockdown round put it for Usyk. So it was closer than probably some people. I thought Usyk won by quite a bit, but the way the judges have scored it, it was a lot closer. And this is what I mean. You never know. You never know. I blame Fury's managers for harsh training methods, says Parker. And Mandy says if Fury had actually hit him as hard as he did in the fights against Wilder, it'd have knocked him out. It's Usyk's fight for sure. Derry says Usyk won that by about 2 or 3, but what a great comeback. I think he was done halfway. Nathan says he's gone to VAR. I just want to wait and see whether they can grab Fury. It's the right result. I think a draw would have been... I mean, a Fury win would have shocked the shit out of me, to be honest. Rematch at Wembley, says D Savage. Dr. Kempo says Fury will retire now. I don't know though. When you watch the documentary with Fury, I don't know what he does without boxing. He's 35. I think if you've watched this documentary, it's really difficult to see what Fury does without boxing. He might well say, I'm going to retire now, but here we go. Right, they're talking to Fury now. He's just about to tell you what happened. He said, fantastic fight. He thinks he won. Oh, he'll be back. Rematch. Happy New Year. Rematch clause. Frank Warren. Will it happen straight away? He wants the immediate rematch. Rematch. Usyk. Do we do rematch again? Usyk. Yeah, and Usyk says we want more time for another fight. Right, that's going to be me out. That's off with my earphones anyway. So basically, Usyk wins the fight, deserves to win the fight. Not going to deny that. Fury says he thinks he won the fight, but there's people sympathetic to the fact that Ukraine are having a war, and that's why he got voted against him. Fury wants the rematch in October. Usyk wants the rematch in October. I think we get the rematch in October, but I will say this. Fury versus Joshua Mark, what's your opinion, says Sean? Well, he'll have to wait. He'll have to wait. Drake put 565k on Fury, apparently, says Imprez. I think Usyk won the fight. You know, I wanted Fury to win, but I think Usyk won the fight. In life, it could have been stopped, Scooby. I think that's a great observation I've not seen from anybody. I said that in the fight. When Fury was up against the ropes, I've seen plenty of fights stopped there. I've seen referees stepped in. He was all over the place. And I think the commentator was bang on. I think he could have gone, I think for Fury, he'd probably been better off going down and taking the count because he was getting smacked all over the place. But I think Usyk won the fight. I do. Whether it was close or not, I do think Usyk won the fight. I don't think it was controversial to give it to him. I think it may well have been closer than I've got it. But I think Usyk won the fight. I think a rematch is a good idea. And I think Fury's capable of beating Usyk, but he's got to be at his best to do it, clearly. Usyk is an absolute machine, and Fury is going to have to go up. He's going to have to go up a level, isn't he? I think for around round 7, I think he's comfortable, and then he gets it, and then it's different, isn't it? So there we go. But I enjoyed it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Massive numbers for us when we're a football channel, so absolutely love that. Tomorrow afternoon, United Stand. I'm doing Man United Brighton. It is final day, but I don't really think there's anything. I'll keep an eye on other games, of course. I've got a couple of screens, but United Stand for the final day tomorrow, and then after that, I'll be putting up some season thoughts on here as well. Thanks everyone for watching. AJ Fury doesn't need to happen yet because it's about getting your belts back, isn't it? So I don't think that Tyson Fury is going to prioritise AJ ahead of getting his belts back. So I think that'll be the next fight in October, and we'll look forward to it. You've been absolute legends tonight. Thank you everybody. Really enjoyed that. I said it would be generational. I think if you're an Usyk fan, it was a brilliant fight. I think from Fury's point of view, probably just will feel he could have done a little bit more, and I think he probably could. But look, he may well be more motivated now in the rematch. We'll have to wait and see. Take care, everyone. Great night, great fight, and thanks for your company. I'll speak to you in a bit.